Hello, everybody. My name's Tom Stoukas, coming to you from Sarnia, Ontario, on July 5th, 2025. And not feeling the magic so far this summer. I got a headache, sweating, the air sucks. It feels like you're in India. On top of you're surrounded by Indians. It feels like the weather almost feels like it. It's horrible weather. And they say it's because of this fires that's going on, all these wildfires, and it's destroying the air. It's something, I don't know, like it's horrible. It's like you go outside the last few days and it's just gross. You don't want to be outside at all. It's like today, and I guess tomorrow is going to be the same way. So not feeling the magic this summer, unfortunately. Yeah. Other than that, just like I said, a little grouchy. Too many people piss me off. Anyway. But it's still early. Maybe the summer will turn around. I don't mind it hot, but it's when it's gross hot, I don't like it. It's so disgusting outside. In this neck of the woods, at least. So I guess we'll just go straight to the day, because I'm just the state of the country, the state of the economy, the state of the average Canadian's life, like mine, I guess. It's not really much to be jumping for joy, apparently. I try to get the pleasures of the simple things, the important things, but it's just not, things aren't fun. Let's see what we're doing here. All right. So our daily recap of today. Again, probably just me bitching all day on and Twitter, on X, whatever. So, first post, and yeah, Trudeau may be gone, but nothing's changed. It's the exact same. Just instead of the dummy Trudeau, we have a different guy who sounds a little bit smarter. But the way the country's governed hasn't changed. So, look at this. The military police are investigating Facebook page filled with racism and misogyny. So, the military police before, what their job was to shoot people if they didn't get off a boat on D-Day. And now they're looking into this. So basically, I read the article, some members of the armed forces were in this chat group in Facebook, or a Facebook group that had some naughty racist stuff and stuff you see on the internet every day, basically. So yeah, I said no wonder recruitment levels suck at the armed forces. They are more worried about tampons in men's bathroom and policing Facebook groups. It's pathetic. Yeah, maybe you should be worried about fighting war or defending the homeland instead of going after Facebook groups. We're, woke military. Kind of Canada screwed there. And of course they've got the crap sorry. The crap recruitment levels. They're going to start bringing in whatever foreigners want to sign up. They're already trying. This is interesting too.
The dancing Israelis.
I've been listening to this guy, a Greek guy, of course. He's an ex-CIA, and he's been talking a lot lately about very sensitive stuff. He's allowed to talk about it. It's been declassified enough, but he says a lot of crazy stuff here. Look, he's saying about 9/11.
Buildings in New York. You know what? A year ago, I would have said, you've got to be crazy. And now I'm not so sure. But I'll tell you the way I think that it probably played out. Mossad is one of the best intelligence services in the world.
Israeli intelligence.
And whether we like them or not, they're really great. We've all heard of the dancing Israelis. The Israeli media crowed after 9/11 because they believed that it would pull us into a war or a series of wars that would result in the deaths of millions of Muslims. That's exactly what happened. But I think, well, I'll answer this with a story. And forgive me if you've heard it before. July 6th, 2001, I was at CIA headquarters entertaining a group of Middle Eastern intelligence officers. This was a normal liaison event. We did it every single day. We would give them a day full of briefings, and then we would exchange gifts, and then I would take them to the director's office, and they would get a photo op, and then take them out for a fancy dinner at night. And that day, I had set up a briefing with a junior analyst, a young junior analyst on Al-Qaeda. But instead of the junior analyst coming, the director of the CIA's Counterterrorism Center, Kofar Black, came with the chief of operations from the Osama bin Laden unit called Alex Station. That was my boss at the time. And he told these guys that something terrible was going to happen. Those were his words. Something terrible is going to happen. It's going to be something on an unprecedented scale. We don't know where, we don't know when, but we know it's going to be just awful. He said, I beg you, if you have any sources inside Al-Qaeda, please help us. And they had no sources inside Al-Qaeda, just like we had no sources inside Al-Qaeda. And then September 11th happened, just 6-7 weeks later. So I've reluctantly, maybe belatedly, come to the position that, of course, Mossad had infiltrated Al-Qaeda. Of course, they knew that the attack was coming. That's why so many people shorted airline stocks on the 10th of September.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we had the dancing Israelis.
Holy.
And that's why 9/11 went forward.
The reason I showed this video is because Kiriakou is not some fringe guy. He's really high up at the CIA, and so he's not. He's respected, and he's talking a lot of crazy stuff lately. So it's coming out. It's all coming out, man. Next post. All right, look at this. Describing how this is the Indian video. I thought that was very interesting. I've been going a bit crazy on the Indians all day because that's all I've been seeing all week. And then I stumbled across this video, so let's watch what he has to say.
You know, we didn't really fight back against all the racists. But here's what I want you... If you're one of the racists that's part of all the Indian hate, then you are in big, big trouble. And if you're one of the racists that's part of all the Indian hate, then you are in big, big trouble.
See, I'm not part of the Indian hate. I'm just part of, there's too many damn Indians. That's all. I don't hate anybody. But they call it hate. All we're calling it like, hey man, we didn't really vote to have 10 million Indians or 50 million Indians in Canada. That's all. It's not hate. Big difference.
And I'll tell you why. Because we are smelly, and we do a lot of stupid things, and we are a center of all the, the funny memes on the internet, Indians,
See, they don't even deny it.
Because we don't really fight back. We don't really fight back against all the racists. But here's what I want you guys to understand. First, we started off with taxis, and then we took over the Aportos, and then we got the 7-Elevens, and now the CEO of Google is Indian, and now the chief FBI leader in America is Indian. And we're going to slowly take over all the companies. And, about 6 years ago, I was walking around with my French wife. She's white. And everyone was giving us looks. But now, when I look around, All of the Indian guys that I know are with white people. So here's what I want you to understand. We don't fight back, but we're slowly going to take over everything. You know,
That's
you know,
kind of
when
like
you
how a
guys
parasite,
divorce,
like
you know,
a
'cause God knows your
virus
divorce rates are
works.
like 97%. Mummy's going to bring home an Indian boy, and your daddy's going to bring home an Indian girl. You know, and you might say, you know, just put the Uber in the bag, bro, but your kids will be doing that. And, you know, you'll go to a party and all of a sudden there'll be Indian food there. You know, and you'll be going somewhere and you'll smell Indian food. And everywhere you be, there'll be Indians.
Yep.
So I feel really, really sorry for you. You know, I don't think poetic justice is bashing you guys. I think poetic justice is realizing that the very thing that you hate, you see everywhere.
Don't hate it.
So
Just see too
I just
many.
wanna
That's
say
all.
I feel sorry for you guys. And when you comment on this video and you say, just put the Uber in the bag, bro, just remember, that'll be your kids one day.
Oh,
I love you
God.
guys. See you soon.
So that's what you're really facing. Like right now, you see, oh, they're so friendly, this and they're so nice. Yeah, wait till they're the majority. This is how they're gonna act. They're already planning it, and the way he's talking is like that. You're describing a parasite or a virus. That's how they spread. Just multiply. But yeah, I've seen this video. I think that's an older video, but it gets kind of explains what's coming. And people, you know, they call it hate, but I call it just saying, hey, maybe they should work to, you know, build up India and make it a great country instead of coming over here, because there's a place called India for Indians. So I thought this was funny video. A lot of boomer anger, like there's a lot of like resentment towards the boomers building, especially if you're like in your 20s or 30s and you see these boomers with $1 million homes and they're living it up, voting liberal, and you're like basically setting, or like you're basically relegated to a life as a landless peasant, you know. So this is the boomers. Boomers, after buying their house in 1975 for $5 and a handshake, and selling it in 2025 for $3 trillion, as is to the millennial. So yeah, that's pretty funny. Okay, next post. None of what is happening in Canada is by accident or incompetence. Once you understand and accept this, you'll see our selected officials for what they truly are. Yes, all of it. Every single level of government is working towards the same goal. Destroying Canada. Yes, it's intentional, of course. And this is funny. Former Deputy Health Minister who relabeled expired vaccines awarded Order of Canada. So I don't even want to go into this guy. All I just thought is like, what are they doing? Like all the COVID commies getting the Order of Canada. What the hell? What the fuck? You know. You saw Theresa Tam and Bonnie Henry got it too. I don't know. Next thing you know, they'll give Trudeau the Order of Canada. Oh my God. Next. Some Israel. After a month in Gaza, historian Jean-Pierre Filiou warns Israel's media restrictions are hiding unprecedented devastation and a humanitarian collapse reshaping the enclave. Yeah, demons. And Haaretz is an Israeli newspaper. They've been coming out with a lot of critical stories on Israel lately. So, I mean, it's so you can't hide the truth when you're killing little kids every day. All right, next post. Oh, this was making little waves today. This A&W commercial. Now, it's in, I don't know what language it is. It's in Indian, of some sort of Indian, Hindu or Hindi or whatever the hell, Punjab. I don't know what the language is. Point is, it's not in English. It's not in French. Now, probably this commercial was shown in like a specific market, like a GTA or Berlin or BC somewhere. Like it wasn't a Canada-wide commercial. But the point is, it's an Indian language commercial. And first they said, oh, they sang when they sang the national anthem in Punjabi and at the NHL game. Oh, you're making a big deal out of nothing. And then they say it on the. Remember they did a campaign. Guys were doing campaign commercials in the Indian languages. They weren't even speaking English to the voters. Oh, you're making a big deal. And then now A&W's doing commercials in Hindi. So, I mean, where does it end? Where the hell does it end? I'm sure the government is hiring Hindi speaker or whatever, Punjabi speakers and Hindi speakers left and right. It's ridiculous. So I guess I'll have to cross A&W off the list. I don't go to any fast food anymore, to be honest. I don't trust anybody to cook my food because they'll hire the lowest rent person off the street and give you hepatitis A, B, and C. All right, here's the commercial. So yeah, it could have been just an internet ad or a TV ad in specific market, but the point is, it's just another kind of thing, another tick on the box, and it's enough of a tick that they say, "Oh, you're making a big deal out of nothing," but it's also enough of a tick to keep the culture changing. Like it's changing. Culture is king. And with regards to A&W and whoever else, NHL, whoever, these corporations, they don't care about preserving Canada's culture. For them, the mass immigration is all that means to them is more customers, more profits. Like look at Bell, TELUS, the Loblaws, basically any business. Of course you're going to want a few million more consumers. Who cares where they come from, right? So that's what they're in it for. So they're going to advertise to the new crowd. If they spend the money, yeah, no problem. They don't give a shit. Here's another one on Israel. From Heratz again. A Palestinian grandmother was on her roof with family when her Israeli police shot her dead. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I don't care, if you think the Palestinians aren't human. That's the narrative. But shooting grandmas on the roof, kind of demonic. Next, another India, not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Canada's near its end when they're not even trying to hide the takeover. So basically, yeah, they're not even trying to hide it. They're just saying basically accept it. We're at the acceptance stage. Before it was kind of a hidden thing. Like, oh, there's nothing to see here. There's nothing. And now it's kind of like we're at the acceptance stage. Like, just accept it. Okay? It's not a big deal. This is just normal stuff. So this is police officers in BC somewhere. And they're having some kind of... They were at some Sikh temple or something. I don't know. And they were just doing some police event. And so the Sikh police and the regular police were all wearing the headdresses. And they were at some community event, looks like. And it's like a trend here with the police. First of all, there's a lot of them. And it's just weird. Like, it looks like India there. Didn't vote for that. But also... It's a trend because even in Sarnia here, I see a few Indians as police. And I was like, that's weird. I was like, I got a problem because I don't really like cops to start with. Like, even a white cop, if he starts bugging me and telling me what to do, I don't want to, I don't like it. So I could just imagine when one of these guys is going to try and tell me what to do. It's like, oh no, I'm going to get in trouble. But, yeah. No big deal. And they got all smiles. Okay, look. See how they're all smiling now? Of course they're smiling. Wait till they get the majority. Then they'll be like, they'll smiling all right, but they won't be smiling at you. All right. But yeah, in Sarnia we got a few, and I seen like in Edmonton, in Alberta, they're recruiting like non-Canadians, like maybe PR people, permanent residents, to the police forces. And I was like, what? Like, are we stupid? Like, it's really frustrating. But it's our leadership, you know. They'll give it all away. They'll give the whole store away. The whole store. All right. But it's not a big deal. Okay. This is interesting here. I don't know, like, this is a projection, so it's not like it's actually happened, but it's crazy numbers. It's federal deficit projected to soar to $92 billion this year. Unfair to pass these burdens on, CD Howe Institute says. So $92 billion. So that means the government spends $92 billion more than it brings in. That's crazy. And this is a central banker. Of course, he's just going to print the money. So if you have any money in the bank, it won't be worth anything. But the house prices will keep going up. Holy shit. So not only we're getting totally taken over by Indians, the summer sucks, the air's non-breathable, and we're going to be broke. Oh my God. No wonder Alberta wants to leave. Next post. Of course. Seneca College closed the Markham campus and laid off staff, but has announced a partnership with a college in Punjab, India. Students will study 1 year in India and transfer to 2 years in Canada in PGWP eligible programs. More student visa scammers incoming. Yeah. Oh my God. So they'll just pipe them in. Just keep piping them in somehow. There's so many immigration programs that they're so good at filling in because they're here. I mean, they want to open up an Indian restaurant. Oh, let's bring in 20 Indians from India. Meanwhile, you get one Greek coming through the border and they call the whole border patrol on them. Imagine that. Seriously, if you're a Greek guy that comes in from Greece and you're just a single guy, you're by yourself, you just want to come visit your family and see what's going on, maybe meet a girl, you never know. They will look at everything at say, oh, you're here to work, aren't you? And they'll call your contact and say, who's picking you up? Let's give me their phone number and this and that. But if you're from India, it's like, oh, come bring your 25 cousins in and your 80-year-old grandparents. All right. It's really crazy. And here's Scott Adams. Looks like he's pretty rough. I heard he doesn't have much time left. Poor guy. But anyway, he was on his little podcast today. He said he said basically what I'm feeling is how basically English-speaking white countries that are being asked to destroy themselves with unlimited immigration. That's what it's basically going on. He's basically saying the quiet part out loud. Like, I've been saying it too. And it's because if you don't say it now, when are you going to say it? When it's too late? So only Western countries expected to have open borders. Let's see how long this is.
It was a good observation.
4 minutes. Let's see what he said.
I saw somebody ask this question. You can remind me who it was, because it was a public figure. Why is it that only Western countries are expected to have open borders? Have you ever noticed that? Like, nobody's on Putin for saying, you really need to open your border. Even as a side conversation, it's just not a conversation. What about China? Do we ever say, we're not going to do a trade deal with you unless you open your borders? It doesn't even come up. Is Japan opening their border a lot? No. It's basically English-speaking white countries that are being asked to destroy themselves with unlimited immigration.
It's basically what I've been
And
saying.
whoever it was who said this first, I wish I could credit them because it was a good observation. I don't think there's any way this is a coincidence. It looks to me like countries that would like to destroy the United States and Europe and other, white dominant countries. It looks like an attempt to simply destroy white people and white people's assets um, for whatever reason, either for their own domination or because they're mad at us or whatever it is. But to me, it's just purely racist against white Western people. And that would be a good enough argument to ship everybody back. So if you look at it as an attack, which is sort of the view that I'm starting to come around to, I don't think it's a bunch of Americans who have a different opinion about the border. It feels to me like our enemies have weaponized citizens of this country who are unwittingly working for the opposition. The opposition being, let's say, China or Russia or somebody who doesn't like us. So to me, the open border thing looked like an attack. In sort of a modern way that countries fight. Instead of having wars with bullets, they influence and they do dirty tricks and they infiltrate and they send their spies over. If you look at the number of Chinese...
I'll say you get the gist of it. Basically, we're being destroyed. Might be too late. And might be too late. Next point. This is funny too. We're talking about this is crazy. Okay, young liberals of Canada are aware of the xenophobic attacks directed at one of our members who recently became a Canadian citizen. Let us be clear. These comments are unacceptable. It's like whatever. So basically, it's. I'm trying to find. Excuse me. It says damn air. So anyway, basically this guy, he just became a Canadian. But apparently he was like a parliamentary assistant in Parliament. He wasn't even a Canadian citizen. And he was a Parliament assistant with the governing party of Canada. And then you're wondering why we have foreign interference problems. Like the guy could have been a spy for all we know. So I got to find the guy's picture. But anyway, let's see if I can find it. It's like, what other country would let a non-citizen into sensitive government positions? And then, okay, now he's a citizen. Yeah, he just got a piece of paper. So, where's the picture here? Okay, I can't find it anyway. So the point is like, we give foreign-born MPs, foreign-born cabinet ministers, foreign-born government officials. Where does it end? Foreign-born police. Like, we're retarded. You go to Korea, you go to Japan, you go to Greece, you go to any other country with half a brain, and this would never happen. You know? So, the Liberal Party. And I said, the Liberal Party, this is globalist traitors. Next post. This is interesting. The MP, Damien Carrick, who gave up his seat so Pierre could run in the Alberta election, he got a nice plum position with some lobbying firm. So basically it was a pray-off. They're saying, give up your seat, we'll get you this position with this conservative friendly firm. So, whatever. I'm not going to hold it against the guy. He's got to make the money, some money. But when they were saying how pure of heart he is and how, what's the word, what a noble gesture was to give up a seat. Like, come on, spare us. He had something lined up. So, He got taken care of. Fine. But don't say, oh, the guy was so noble to give up his seat, so pure. Oh my God. Okay. And this is how I feel. Oh. So if a Gen X guy like me is annoyed and pissed off at what Canada has become, imagine what the teenagers and 20-year-olds are feeling. Yikes. We'll find out soon enough. And the reason I say this is because if you're a teenager, like in your late teens heading into adulthood, in your 20s and early 30s, and you basically, unless your parents are rich, or you're not going to be enjoying the lifestyle of your parents, that resentment is going to be big. Me, I'm a little older. All I could do is bitch a little bit. I think it's a lot different if you know you have decades ahead of this, a whole lifetime ahead of you to be a landless serf. So, yeah, should be interesting to see the next generation. And they haven't been as conditioned as my generation and as the boomers, the condition with the post-war conditioning. They're going to be fresh and ready to go. Okay, next. Oh, look at this. More police, this time in Ontario, going to Hamilton. Hamilton police wearing Khalistani terrorist symbols on their turbans for training. What kind of training is this? So, the other one of the cops was in BC. This is in Hamilton.
Or a sick family's home in an emergency, they would have more awareness.
Let's see what this is.
The Hamilton Police Services started an initiative where they invite new recruits to various places of worship throughout the year. On this day, their goal was to learn about the Sikh community's faith, identity, and culture. I started off with a tour of the facilities and basic protocols while visiting a Gurdwara. I shared a presentation prepared by the World Sikh Organization on Sikhs in Canada, how to recognize Sikhs, our articles of faith and what they represent, the treatment of these articles, religious accommodations and the freedom of religion, consent and respect,
Holy fuck.
body searches on Sikhs,
You need
students,
the cops need a manual just for the Sikhs.
My goal was to enhance their understanding of Sikhs so that they're able to respond to calls appropriately. If they were ever called to a Gurdwara or a Sikh family's home in an emergency, they would have more awareness and knowledge of Sikh beliefs and practices to provide culturally appropriate care. In the end, they all enjoyed a delicious meal in the Langar Hall. Initiatives like this one help break down biases and prejudices, foster trust, improve communication, and community relations. We look forward.
All right, a few things. I wonder who paid for all these cops to go to this thing. It wasn't the Sikhs. It was probably the taxpayers. Second, why do I never seen cops go to the Greek church or the Armenian church, whatever. Maybe why you have to ask yourself, why do you have so many people from a certain country that you have to have cops go to understand what you can and do with them if you have to respond to a call? And it's ridiculous, it's ridiculous. And it's like, I'll tell you right now, when cops respond to autistic people, they probably have no idea what they're doing. There's so many cases of cops responding to autistic people with tasers and this and that. And maybe they should take some training for that. But instead they're going to a Sikh temple for training on whatever the hell. It's a joke. It's just another tick to get us closer to India. Here's Greg Wycliffe. First Scott Adams, now Greg. They're all it's like we're all in the same. It's like it's all just hitting us at the same time. It's crazy. Let's see what he says.
But anyway, there's obviously lots of right wing. So they're airing commercials in foreign languages now in Canada. So much for learning French or English when you get here. But anyway, there's obviously lots of right-wing conservative people freaking out over this. And the thing is, some of them are supporters of Pierre Poilievre, the Conservative Party. And they're saying, it's those damn liberals. For example, if you've seen Mario for the North, he does make a lot of good content, but he said the same thing. Sums up the Century Initiative that's loved by the liberals. Yeah, bro, but there's one problem with your kind of just blaming it on the liberals.
Pierre.
In fact, it's actually more than one problem. There's actually... I think it's more than one problem.
So
I don't think it's just the liberals, man. And for those unaware, Polyev did not just play dress up to pander to some foreign
he was-
voting bloc. We got to do that to beat the libs. It was not just that at all.
Nope.
Polyev, during his Canada First rally, said things like, "It doesn't matter if your name is Polyev or Patel, Singh or Mohammed. Anyone from anywhere can do anything." And who could forget this classic?
Ours is a nationalism not based on bloodlines, birthplace, or background.
That is not AI. He actually
sounds like a
said that.
globalist.
The leader of the Conservative Party of Canada said background, birthplace, bloodline doesn't matter, doesn't make you Canadian.
That's
This
globalist
is
talking.
almost more post-nationalist than Trudeau
Yep.
was. And by the way, when I pointed this out during the election campaign, I got nothing but
Yep.
hate for it from these people who supported
I
Polyev,
remember.
saying, "Oh, well, Bernier has no chance." That's irrelevant to what I'm talking about. And the point is like, stop putting up with these weak conservatives, guys. Like, just blaming the libs. No, we're supposed to have a real opposition opposing mass immigration.
We need a
its
new candidate.
consequences, multiculturalism. Its
Well, Bernier,
consequences.
but
We're
the
seeing the
conservatives.
consequences, and they're very, very ugly. It's kind of hard not to be racist these days, to be honest. So we need to stop putting up with these weak conservatives, and quite frankly, some of these influencers who are basically propping up their weakness. And in a way, these influencers make excuses.
They
for
do.
Polyev. You think Polyev would have disavowed this A&W commercial during the election campaign? No, he would have wanted to be in the commercial during the election campaign. Every time
He would have
that
been serving
they're
the fries.
weak at the podium, every time that they sugarcoat something, every time that they act liberal and not strong enough, we're actually not changing anything. We need to stop putting up with the weakness of
Yep.
these fake conservatives in this country. If
Too
you
many.
want things to change.
Too many fake conservatives. Like, we were talking about the other day about Pierre being all tough now on immigration when he didn't say jack shit during the election. So you can't really take a guy that seriously when he does that stuff. He needs to go find somebody new. Somebody like, Bernier's good. Why not him? I like him. If he does what he says he's going to do on the immigration file. Next, just a little bit. Look at this. Nice of Calgary police to remind newcomers who haven't learned English yet to not assault women at the Stampede. This is the new Canada. See, a little bit. You got to put the no rape sign up. Clear, voluntary, and specific consent. It's hot out there. The girls are dressed real scantily. Gotta tell the Indian guys not to rape. Before engaging in any sexual activity, consent must be given by both parties. Consent means agreeing to sexual activity, including kissing, touching, or intercourse with another person. Really? Sexual contact with a person is never acceptable without clear, voluntary, and specific consent. And then, of course, gotta put it in a different language. And just hope they read it. I don't know what kind of languages these are. Probably Hindi and Punjab. It's like, there you go. It's fucked up. And if you want to look at some of the reason why Canada's messed up, look at this picture here. This is the Uniparty in a perfect representation of the Uniparty of Canada in this one photo. You have big fat Doug Ford and his big fat gut. So big fat gut of his. Looks like the poor shirt's gonna rip at the seams. And then beside him, you got the little traitor, Ukrainian traitor, Chrystia Freeland. And then Jean Chrétien, still alive. Can't believe it. He looks pretty good, actually, for being 100. And then you got Donna LeBlanc. And then Olivia Chow, Mayor of Toronto. And then Tim Houston from Nova Scotia. So basically, the Uniparty, Conservatives and Liberals, all hanging out in Chrystia Freeland's backyard in Toronto. Laughing it up while they destroy Canada. That's the picture. That's the picture there of why Canada's being destroyed. Look at these guys. And you know they like their booze and their cigars and their steak. As long as they don't give a shit about Canada, I'll tell you that. Piss me off. But you know, if the people in Canada want that for Canada, then they can have it. They want to destroy Canada, go ahead. Then the rest of us can make our decisions from there. All right, next post here. We're gonna wrap it up. On the international front, Tucker Carlson's making waves again because he's got an interview with the Iranian president, and people are attacking him, just like the one they attacked him when he had the Putin interview. And it's ridiculous because it's like, why can't he interview people? It's called gatekeeping because they're basically thinking, they're saying, oh, see, the argument they're saying is, we shouldn't give these guys an opportunity to speak because people are dumb and it's a propaganda and people are going to listen and believe them. So that's the one argument. And then the other argument is that's the public argument, but the secret argument is they're going to want people, they might see a different view of the narrative that the Iran narrative that our side, like, you know, anyway, they don't want him interviewing the Iranian president. And I hate when people say that, oh, we don't want people to see him interview it. If people want to see him interview the Iranian president, let them watch. It's up to them. They're not, you know, I hate when people try to censor it. So they're trying to shame Tucker, basically saying, oh, Tucker would interview Hitler if it was World War II and he was around. And I'd say, yeah, I'd say I would watch that interview. That would be kind of funny, actually. Could you imagine it? I'm sure someone will render an AI with Tucker interviewing Hitler. So, but right now we're just going to settle for the Iranian president. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal like when I was growing up. Mike Wallace from 60 Minutes went and interviewed like Hezbollah guys and like some heavies. The Afghan guys got lots of interviews, gave lots of interviews. The guys who were fighting the Russians, the Afghan Taliban, and the foreign fighters fight. And then who else? Gaddafi did an interview with Barbara Walters. So, I mean, it's not like it hasn't been done before. Anyway, I thought it's funny. But they hate Tucker. I like Tucker. If they hate him, that means I like him. Next, here's another part. Oh, it's just you're making a big deal out of nothing. It's just you're being racist. Look at this. Doug Ford, Olivia Chow. Doug Ford and Olivia Chow are best buddies because there is no party system in Canada. It's uniparty. Look at this. Well, I don't even know what this is from. It's every time I see Doug Ford or somebody, they're in I don't know. Where the fuck do these guys have time to dress up all the time? I don't even like getting dressed up in the morning for regular stuff. All right. Here's some more. It's all India in my feed. I don't know why. It's like I don't ask for this. True North has identified the vehicle featured in a viral video of South Asian men recklessly firing guns from atop a car as a 2024 Jeep Wrangler with dealership issue plate covers matching those used by Surrey, BC dealerships. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. These guys are just going all like, it's like they're in platoon or something. Very dangerous use of firearms. And, they want to take firearms from Canadians. And I know a lot of Canadians with firearms, and they're very good with their firearms. And they take that stuff very seriously. And, what, they don't have a video? Damn it. So yeah, I saw the video of these guys. They were just going all Rambo into the woods. I mean, there could have been kids in there. Who knows? obviously you're not following the procedures. I'm trying to find the video. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Look at these guys. They think they're Rambo or something. So yeah, I think we got a problem here in Canada. But I blame our leadership and our government, because they bring in millions of these people from third world countries. Not only do they bring them in, but they let them do whatever they want. They say, hey, you can't do this, this, and this. Too bad. And instead, they do the opposite. Do whatever you want. Keep your culture. Do whatever. And then next thing you know, you have all these ethnic enclaves. You got the sectarian politics. It's just ridiculous. But it's mainly our leadership has caused this. They're weak traitors. Look at these guys. Weak. And there's more. So basically, I saw it all day, people, about Tucker getting that interview with the president of Iran. It's just people. It's like they were paid to tweet, because there was almost all the same, making fun of Tucker for, not making fun of him, but like basically calling him a propagandist for Iran and all this. It's like, hey man, what are you guys afraid of? But that's what I said. I said these gatekeepers, shekel takers, like obviously, freaking out over the Tucker interview. They think people are stupid and shouldn't think for themselves. Also, Mike Wallace and Barbara Walters did similar interviews in the past. Not a big deal unless you're in favor of censorship. Yes. Like it's not like people are going to like change their whole worldview because they watch a Tucker interview with the Iran president. It's just censorship. So, that's it for Twitter. And so we have a cruel summer. Dirty air. Full Indians. Corrupt traitor leaders. But the summer's early, so maybe things will change. So that'll be it. See you tomorrow. We'll talk tomorrow and see what happens tomorrow. It's supposed to be a scorcher tomorrow, so stay cool. And like I said, tomorrow at 9 on X.